was an intravenous drug user. There's nothing happy about it.
They're really pushing their belief that it's okay to use and it's fun to use. They've made it into a social justice cause where it's encouraging use. That is a line that should have never been crossed.
No, we're not condoning drug use. We're not condemning it either. We need to find ways to empower and uplift our community. And trust me, breaking them down is definitely, it will not help with that. Harm reduction was the black sheep of the public health field. You know, like our approaches was too radical for some folks, but it's been more accepted over the last few years. New approaches is needed. We're not condoning drug use. We're seeing the person. We're seeing them. Be you. Here, take these supplies. And you know, the same people that we give supplies to, they come to us for trainings. They come to us for trainings, and they come to us for jobs and all of that. And a lot of our advocates come from that background. Remember, myself included. And we was given that chance, and that's what harm reduction is about.
At this very moment, on this very day, 5 years ago, I was homeless on the streets of the Tenderloin in San Francisco. I was severely addicted to heroin, crack cocaine, and fentanyl. And I was just living a miserable existence. I got arrested a total of 6 times in a 3-month period in 2018. And if it wasn't for the intervention that I received out on the street by the police, and then the love and compassion that I received from the Salvation Army, who took me into their rehab center here in San Francisco, I would have never found recovery, and I wouldn't be where I am today. The harm reduction mantra is that you should have bodily autonomy. You should be in control of whatever you put in your body, including drugs. And if someone intervenes upon that, they are violating your civil liberties. So if you're in the privacy of your own home, I would kind of agree with that. What you do in your own home is really your business. So if you want to go home in your house and smoke fentanyl all day, that's your business. But when you're doing it out on the street, in front of kids, in front of families, in front of businesses, harming the business and causing harm to the community, and then all the chaos that comes with that, the drug dealing, the stealing to support your addiction, the violent acts that can come out of, let's say, extended methamphetamine use, where you fall into what they call meth-induced psychosis, where you think you're being chased by helicopters and pretty soon a guy's running down the street with an axe, which I have seen personally myself on the street. Now you're violating other people's civil liberties around you. And that's not okay. And that's where the harm reduction folks get it wrong. And that leaving someone in a tent on the street to do whatever they want is actually not body autonomy. That's actually cruel.
I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. I do this for a living. And the reason why I'm against harm reduction is because it's now changed to encouraging use, encouraging younger people to get high. These are impressionable people that lack rational thought and critical thinking.
There are aspects of harm reduction that I embrace that I think we need to consider, especially around overdose reversal, needle exchange programs. We want to stop the spread of bloodborne diseases like HIV and hepatitis. I get all that. What we really need to focus on, in my opinion, is treatment. And that's not necessarily what harm reduction focuses on. Harm reduction is all about, well, we need to keep people alive so that they can find treatment, but they don't promote treatment either. And they've created this kind of perpetual cycle of suffering. Department of Public Health in San Francisco ran a campaign in 2020 talking about knowing overdose, and it had these images of homeless people on the street that had smiles on their face, that looked happy, that were getting ready to stick a needle in their arm. Use with a friend, don't use alone, take small sips or small doses. It would have an image of like some people at a party getting ready to use drugs, all smiles, or of a group of homeless people on the street that were getting ready to shoot dope together right there out on the street. I've done that. I was an intravenous drug user. There's nothing happy about it.
folks think that we condoning drug use when really we're like, this is a reality. We're here to like help folks do it safely, to eliminate the transmission of, AIDS, HIV, and other STIs and other stuff. We just want folks to be safe so that they have tomorrow, and we don't know what tomorrow brings.
I think a lot of people can wrap their head around at least switching a brand new needle, because you don't want to give someone else your disease if you have it. But explain the rationale with handing out fentanyl straws, fentanyl foil, and pipes. That is insane. We're seeing these cute Valentines cards and cartoon characters, and the fentanyl straws have become very colorful that look like candy canes. And it's very appealing to people that are younger. I mean, this is what they're doing, is they're trying to attract that younger generation. It's no different than how they marketed candy cigarettes to kids in the 1980s, and that was eventually outlawed.
We do that a lot out here too, like we do, little fun stuff with the pipe. It's not, once again, that we're promoting it, but once again, these are people who don't got nobody. They don't got nobody and they don't got nothing. There's been times I've done events and we pass out Christmas cards with a pipe and a candy cane taped to it. And you want to know what? They're like, y'all doing the work of God. And you think it's because we're giving them those supplies. They think that. No, it's because nobody looks at these folks. To have somebody, give a card and chocolates and along with a supply, a sterile supply that's gonna help them be safe. They know now for sure, as long as they got this pipe good and it's good and only they use it, they ain't gonna have HIV or HCV or any STIs or any infections, and they'll be able to do their thing. Come Christmas, that same pipe or while everybody's having fun, which is very much in front of them, because people who's using drugs, the people who we service, they sleep out in them streets, so they seeing families walk by with presents and coming out of restaurants and all of that, and what they just supposed to cope with that sober? There's a lot of ways we could look at this. But yeah, we could be punitive about it. Yeah, we could nitpick if we want. Yeah, go ahead. Do you really think that messaging is going to uplift them, is going to help uplift them? No, it's not. And that's what harm reduction is trying to do. We need to find ways to empower and uplift our community. And trust me, breaking them down is definitely, it will not help with that.
We are dealing with the deadliest drug in history. This is not marijuana. This is fentanyl, 50 times stronger than heroin and cheaper. This is insane. The best thing the harm reduction movement could do is be like, you know what? We hate fentanyl. Fentanyl sucks, and we want nothing to do with it, and we will never glorify it, because it is killing impressionable people.
And it just sends this really terribly wrong message that this is okay, that we should accept this as a society, and that this should become normalized. And I will not accept that.
The last 3 years is the worst I've ever seen. This is where they really believe this is a revolution. And this happened right around when, kind of the protests started, where, everything just became significantly more radicalized. I think this is bigger than even harm reduction. This is their social justice movement, where they feel like this is really a revolution of giving a person's, in a utopian world, everyone a right to do whatever they want. No rules, no home ownership, no businesses, in a completely socialistic society where you can basically just do whatever you want. That seems to be the ultimate goal.